Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Gideon Forex Academy. If you are new on here and you're watching a video on this channel for the first time, consider subscribing, hit that subscribe button and also watch this video till the end. I have something that is new for you. I hope that it will help you in your trading journey or in your trading career, whatever you want to call it. Okay, so today we have something, but before I go into the lesson of today showing you how to trade indices and actually the forecast of three main indices that you have to look at long term and it has great gains, guys. So watch this video till the end. It's really informative. All right, so also bear in mind, whatever information I give on here in my videos is not financial advice, guys. Okay, so that's a disclaimer you have to remember. Make your decisions by yourself. So this is a disclaimer. All right, so I will be forecasting three main indices and which I believe will move or rally in the next few months. So you are going to make your own decision to invest in those indices and see your money grow exponentially. So today, that's what we are going to be looking at, and I'm going to be showing you on the screen how I anticipate those particular indices to move, and also a basic understanding of what indices are. If you are new, if you don't understand what indices actually are, I'm going to give a basic understanding of what they are, and even show you the charts and the projections that I'm looking at in the next coming months. And also, if you are looking for mentorship, my contacts will be in the bio, and also the links to my different social media handles, and also my website, which is new, you can access, and also find an ebook that I've recently put together for you, especially for beginner to intermediate traders. Okay, that ebook is available for you guys, so just click the website link to go and access that book. Also, you can contact me on WhatsApp and let's talk about it. If you are looking for mentorship, you are in the right place. You can also hit me up and let's go. All right, so let's go to the charts. I'll show you the three indices that I'm going to be looking at in the next coming months. Very profitable, guys. So let's go and see how that looks like on the charts, guys. So we are going to start with the US 30. So US 30 is a weighted stock market index tracking the share price performance of 30 publicly traded companies, especially in the US. All right, so this is an index. It's usually called US 30. You can call it US 30 Dow Jones Industrial Average Index, okay, or simply the Dow Jones. Okay, you might hear some of those words being thrown about, but they just mean the same thing. It's the US 30. It's an index which tracks the performance of the top 30 publicly traded companies in the US. Okay, so it's just an index which tracks the performance of those companies which are listed in the Dow Jones Industrial Average Index, all right, which is also called the US 30. Of those companies include Apple, Microsoft, Visa, Tesla, Goldman Sachs Group, Nvidia, and McDonald's, and the rest. There are 30 of them in this index, all right. So these are companies that are publicly traded. So in this index, you find some of those that I have actually listed on here. All right, so pay attention to this, and I will be mentioning something. So in this index, you can see that in the monthly time frame, this index has just been on an uptrend. Okay, the trend has been very much bullish, as you can see. All right, the trend of this index has been bullish. All right, since 2018, at least 2018, you can see it goes way back, but at least for this monthly time frame, you can see that it has been generally bullish. Okay, so it's an uptrend. Okay, and what drives this uptrend is the performance of these companies in the US. Apple, Microsoft, Visa, and those top companies in the US, which are listed in this index, the US 30. Okay, so when those companies perform well, their share price goes up and the index also generally goes up in value. All right, so you want to always look for opportunities to buy indices because they contain those components, as I have said, the top companies which are in the US, and those companies are not going anywhere. They will always perform very well, and their trajectory is usually bullish. All right, so even if there are down times for those companies, they usually bounce back, and they are very valuable companies. Okay, so you can bet on buying indices at a particular level, okay, and hold long term. These are long term investments where you put your money and hold for months, weeks, months, and even years. All right, so we are looking at the Dow Jones here, and we can see an uptrend. So why am I sharing this? Because there is an opportunity that I see already, okay, with the Dow Jones. You can see that it already bounced up around here, okay. The Dow Jones bounced at this trend line here on the monthly time frame. So you can see that movement, this forms higher highs and higher lows. Let me just change this so that you can see. Okay, so it's an uptrend, as you can see, higher highs, higher lows. Okay, and then this is a new higher high, and then it has created a higher low at the trend line here. So what we are expecting is another higher high, okay, to this point here. You can use your Fibonacci extension tool to see how far that higher high is likely to go. But we are looking at possibly going to 52,000 around there, all right, possibly. All right, so we are looking at a continuation of this uptrend. All right, so when you go down to your lower time frame, what you are looking at is buying the Dow Jones or the US 30. You can, for those who want to hold short term, okay, you can also actually target these points here, okay, target this point over here. All right, this is where you can actually target right here. Okay, so you can buy you can go to your lower time frames and buy the US 30 right now. Okay, let's go to the 4-hour time frame and see how that looks like. Okay, in our 4-hour time frame, we can see that recently the Dow Jones broke above this resistance, this previous resistance. Okay, if I may mark that out, this was a previous resistance at this point here. We can see there was a resistance there, and then there was another area here, bounced back from this area, but it broke above that resistance, and we can see a pattern to the upside at this point. So if you are buying long term, you can actually buy the Dow Jones right now at this point. Okay, you can buy the Dow Jones right now at this point and target those highs over there at a 1 to 3 risk to reward ratio, and hold this at a 1 to 3 risk to reward ratio to the upside. Okay, and place your stop loss just below here. Okay, and target all the way up here to these highs over here. Okay, so this is in a 4-hour time frame. The reason why you are buying on a 4-hour time frame is because you intend to hold this long term. Okay, so that is the Dow Jones for you. It is definitely going to rally to the upside. The reason why I'm saying it's going to rally to the upside is because of the recent performance of the chip manufacturer Nvidia, which is also listed in the Dow Jones. All right, so because this company is performing very well, it drives the uptrend of the Dow Jones, because they listed Nvidia and other companies which are doing very well, and also they listed Tesla. So Tesla is also within the Dow Jones. That is why you see the performance now with the cooperation between Tesla and now Nvidia with autonomous driving and all of that. So not only the US 30 but other indices also to go to the upside. Okay, so their value is really appreciating. So you should be looking at buying these indices and holding long term. So right now, what we can, so the next one here is the Nasdaq. You can also call, sometimes it's called the US Tech or US Tech 100 or Nasdaq 100. It all points to the same indices, which is the Nasdaq. Okay, so the Nasdaq is also an index which tracks the performance of the top 100 publicly traded companies in the US. So you can name them: Casco, Starbucks, Intel, PepsiCo, Apple, Microsoft, Tesla, Nvidia, name it. You name the top 100 companies in the US. So this is an indices which tracks the performance of those companies in the US. So you can never go wrong with this index, especially the Nasdaq is really always bullish. It has been bullish for a very long time with some retracements, of course, because the market does not move in a straight line. It is always this kind of movement. It's higher highs, then higher lows, then it created a higher high, then it created this higher low here, okay, which was recently it was like a retest over here, if I may mark this area out. So this was a recent retest, and now we can see that upward trajectory, okay, and we're looking to buy. You can see it's really bullish on a monthly time frame, and should this price continue to rally and break, it's really breaking even, it has created all-time highs right now. The Nasdaq has created all-time highs, so you should be looking at buying the Nasdaq for sure and hold it long term, because this retest was really good. You can see with the long wick indicating an aggressive upward momentum, okay. You can see this long wick here indicating an aggressive, this is actually a hammer, all right, on a monthly time frame. That's why you see that aggressive bullish momentum to the upside. Yeah, if you consider buying right now, if you go to lower time frames like a 4-hour time frame, look for opportunities to buy, because for sure what is driving this index also is the performance of those companies which are specializing in chip manufacturing or semiconductor manufacturing. Like Nvidia is also listed in the Nasdaq. We have Tesla also listed. We have Microsoft. We have Intel. So all of those manufacturing chips and semiconductors are actually driving this index to the upside, okay. So this is a valuable index to actually invest in. You can actually buy this index and hold for quite some time. So the S&P 500 is basically in full Standard and Poor's 500, okay. So it's also an index which tracks the performance of the top 500 publicly traded companies in the US, okay. Name it: Amazon, Alphabet, Johnson & Johnson, JP Morgan and Chase, Union Pacific Corporation, Starbucks, Intel, PepsiCo, Apple, Microsoft, Tesla, Nvidia, Meta. Name it, all of them are listed here, the top 500 publicly traded companies in the US, which are performing. They are not going anywhere, so they are not going to be we are not imagining that one time Apple or Nvidia will drop down to zero value. No, these are companies which are constantly innovating, and they are creating new technologies which drive this index to the upside. So you are looking at generally buying this index. I don't see anyone looking for opportunities to sell the SPX or the S&P 500. You always wait for bounce of, like as you can see here, it has always been in an upward trajectory. A higher low, then another higher high, a higher low, and then you can see this higher high, and then we see this recent higher low and a long wick at the bottom of this hammer here, okay, indicating aggressive upward momentum. All right, so if I may mark out this point here, this was a pivot area where we have both resistance, okay, we have both a former resistance here, and we have also a support here right now. Why? Because of that reaction there. So that is what caused, there was a high demand at this area here. So this is a pivot area. You can see the aggressive move to the upside, okay. So what we are looking at right now is buying the S&P 500. It's surely about to break and form all-time highs, because it's at this point here, it's at the previous resistance level. It's retesting the previous higher high, all right, and it's about to break out of that zone. So you are looking at buying the SPX at around this point here. All right, so you are looking at buying around that area to the upside. All right, this is what you are looking at, a continuation to the upside for S&P 500. And what is also driving the S&P 500 is the recent Nvidia and Tesla innovations, okay, which are increasing the value of these companies, and it pushes the value of this index also higher. So you want to consider buying and holding long term to see how much you can make out of that. So that is my forecast, and that is my assessment or technical analysis and fundamental analysis for you guys regarding these three indices, which you can actually take advantage of and consider buying at this particular moment, because there is a breakout on the SPX, as I've just showed you on the screen here, and there's also a breakout on the Nasdaq. Okay, it is a Nasdaq has actually formed new all-time highs, and also the US 30 or the Dow Jones Industrial average is also rallying to the upside. So thank you very much for those who have watched this video till the end. Thank you very much for watching, and also consider subscribing if you haven't, and hit the like button. Until next time, thank you. Bye bye.